Pause your current actions immediately, as the following message holds the potential to either fundamentally change your life for good or result in your remaining in your exact present condition for the next decade. Only 3 days ago, I observed a man dedicating 20 minutes to justifying his position to someone who clearly had no regard for him, actively seeking validation from an individual undeserving of his time. This type of man is alarmingly common, and perhaps you see yourself in this description or in similar scenarios. Perhaps you are weary of being habitually ignored, underestimated, and treated as inconsequential. Understand this: your lack of self-assurance isn't an innate quality. It is a consequence of deliberate programming, a training and conditioning designed to make you predictable, easily managed, and controllable. However, 5 centuries ago, a single influential figure uncovered the genuine governing principles of power, success, and strength, distinct from the polite societal norms usually advocated. This individual was Machiavelli, and he authored the definitive guide to achieving an unstoppable personal state. I'm referring to developing into the kind of man whose entrance immediately commands attention, whose single statement is enough to secure total audience focus, and whose established boundaries are always met with unwavering respect. This man cannot be intimidated, manipulated, or deterred. He possesses an inherent commanding respect, operating by a distinct set of rules, because his personal standards function on an entirely elevated plane. In the ensuing discussion, I will outline 8 critical principles guaranteed to shift your status from being consistently overlooked to being prominently recognized, from soliciting respect to inherently commanding it, and from passively hoping for favorable outcomes to actively preparing for excellence. Be warned, once these foundational truths are recognized, they cannot be forgotten. Once the true mechanics of influence are grasped, a return to naivety is impossible. Once you become unstoppable, reversing back to a stoppable state is simply not an option. Principle 1. Transforming your inner self. To initiate this journey, acknowledge the struggle between 2 distinct personas residing within you: the tentative, apology-prone aspect seeking external validation, and the self-assured, resolute side naturally commanding deference. Your daily choices function as nourishment for one and depletion for the other. Our goal is to empower the self-assured persona by actively denying sustenance to the unsure one. The tentative self represents the sum of socially imposed expectations. Impulse to offer kindness in the face of insult, to apologize without fault, and to provide needless justifications to those who are accountable to you. This insecure conditioning began early. Authority figures desired compliance, and society favored predictability. Easily controlled men do not establish lasting legacies. They are simply dismissed. This uncertain inner voice has dictated your actions, resulting in your acceptance of disrespect, your provision of endless opportunities to others, and your consistent prioritization of their needs above your own. The painful truth is that every act of undue nicety to the undeserving is an act of self-betrayal. Permitting others to infringe upon your limits teaches them those limits are meaningless. Machiavelli astutely observed that one who fails to master himself will inevitably remain subservient to others. Recognize the stark linguistic difference between the 2 voices. The insecure voice suggests avoiding offense. I don't want to hurt their feelings. While the confident voice prioritizes personal standards. I don't want to compromise my standards. The uncertain response to a slight is self-doubt. Maybe I misunderstood. Contrasted with the decisive stance of the confident self. I understood precisely, and I find what I understood unacceptable. The timid persona suggests unwarranted leniency. I should give them another chance. Whereas the powerful inner self declares finality. They have already exhausted their opportunities. This internal shift, which completes the work of Principle 1, is not a brutal upheaval, but a calculated strategy. When your limits are challenged, The hesitant side wishes to rationalize their existence. Conversely, the self-assured side simply maintains the boundary without offering a justification. Upon encountering disrespect, the uncertain voice seeks an explanation, while the decisive voice implements suitable repercussions. If your time is wasted, the timid part generates excuses, whereas the dominant part safeguards your time as a precious resource. It is vital to discern which voice guides your choices. An impending apology for an uncommitted error signals the tentative self's influence. Explaining yourself to someone who actually owes you an apology is the uncertain self craving validation. Instigate this change not through self-loathing, but through deliberate selection. Prioritize inner strength over public acceptance, genuine respect over popularity, and high influence over being generally well-liked. Your uncertain side will fight back, warning of disapproval from others. Allow this resistance, but ensure the transformation proceeds. The result is an individual who is unapologetic about his presence, refuses to offer explanations to the irrelevant, and commands respect effortlessly. Principle 2. Constructing the unshakable mindset. Your cognitive landscape is either your most potent weapon or your primary hindrance. Currently, it is likely a source of turmoil. Critiques sting deeply, failures feel individualized, and every hurdle provokes an emotional outbreak. This internal disorder is the source of your inertia. Our aim is to forge a mental citadel, impenetrable to external forces. This fortress mind abstains from emotional reactions to outside events, instead analyzing them strategically. When facing critique, the fortress mind doesn't experience pain. It acquires data about the critic's nature. When disappointment strikes, it avoids shock, instead receiving confirmation of pre-existing suspicions. The majority of men are dictated by their feelings. Outbursts of temper lead to rash choices. Feelings of injury result in feeble resolutions. Fear can result in complete inaction. Their emotions resemble untamed forces, guiding their paths according to momentary impulses. The fortress mindset operates differently, transforming emotions into objective information. Anger signifies a violated limit. Hurt signifies a revealed true character. Fear indicates imminent personal growth. You must cease internalizing every event. Poor treatment by others is a window into their character, not a reflection of yours. Attempts at manipulation reveal their desperation, not your inadequacy. Machiavelli's wisdom states, "The prudent man acts in the present, securing his future." Your strategic mindset relies on logic. It anticipates relational difficulties, not out of pessimism, but from preparedness. Anticipating hurdles renders disappointment controllable, and success a welcomed bonus. Cultivate a mind that identifies recurring trends rather than isolated events. An individual who has once been deceitful is fundamentally untrustworthy. A friend who gossips will certainly gossip about you. Someone who once displayed disrespect will repeat the action if permitted. The fortress mind views every situation as a chance for learning. Each dialogue instructs you on human nature. Each exchange illuminates a person's real priorities. Every disagreement highlights who your genuine allies are. Cultivate self-awareness. When angered, pause and reflect. What is the lesson here? When hurt, analyze. What pattern is this showing? The fortress mind does not promote coldness, but resilience. You retain your feelings, but they no longer govern your choices. Logic governs your decisions, strategy guides your conduct, and influence defines your life. Most individuals possess delicate mental states that fracture under minor duress. You are constructing a durable structure, capable of enduring any crisis. Forge your mental stronghold. Ensure it is impregnable, for once it is finished, no outside influence can disrupt your true self. Principle 3. Mastering the art of silence. The individual who dominates a room with noise is frequently the most anxious. He speaks out of nervousness, justifies due to self-doubt, and debates out of a fierce need for affirmation. You must adopt the contrary approach, recognizing that deliberate quiet is the pinnacle of self-assurance. When you cease providing explanations for your actions, a significant shift occurs. People's respect for you increases. They stop interrogating your judgments and challenging your limits. They begin to regard you as someone possessing superior knowledge, which in fact you do. You grasp that your inherent value is independent of their comprehension. You are not obligated to rationalize your choices, vindicate your standards, or defend your personal boundaries to anyone. The instant you begin explaining yourself to a challenger, you unintentionally grant them control over you. Consider the most impactful figures you know. Do they endlessly elaborate, defend every choice, or engage in every dispute? Certainly not. They decide, advance, establish boundaries, and maintain them. Their speech is reserved for matters of importance. Machiavelli famously noted, "The lion does not need to roar to be respected." Silence makes you intriguing. When others cannot easily decipher your intentions, they attribute greater depth and strategy to you. They assume you are focused on something monumental, extending influence to you that you did not explicitly seek. The critical caveat is that when you do elect to speak, your words must possess considerable gravity. Since your verbal contributions are selective and not superfluous, they command heightened attention and bear significant weight. Your refusal to over-explain ensures that when you finally break the silence, the entire audience grants you careful focus. Implement strategic quiet, completing the instruction of Principle 3, starting immediately. If faced with an absurd accusation, forgo self-defense. Simply observe the accuser with composure. When demands are made for information you prefer not to share, refuse explanation. A simple no suffices. When others attempt to manufacture conflict or drama, disengage completely. Notice the dynamic shift. The individual accustomed to provoking a reaction from you will suddenly feel disoriented. They will intensify their efforts to elicit their usual emotional payoff. Their failure to achieve this forces them to either concede or expose their authentic nature. In both scenarios, you secure the advantage. Furthermore, quietude serves as a shield against regretful utterances. Countless individuals have undermined their positions with statements they later wish to retract. Many disagreements could be sidestepped through intentional quiet. The reserved individual avoids these pitfalls. He speaks solely when it advances his objectives and maintains silence when it safeguards his standing. He never furnishes adversaries with material to use against him. Allow others to generate noise. You will command the space with your presence. Let them expend energy on chatter. You will reserve yours for decisive action. Reserved men wield greater influence, not through menace, but through calculated unpredictability. Their thoughts, capabilities, and timing remain obscure. Let them speculate, hypothesize, and ultimately respect what they cannot readily comprehend. Your ability to remain silent is your greatest asset. Deploy it judiciously. Principle 4. Transforming adversity into power. A crucial truth that will spare you years of frustration is this: people will inevitably let you down. Your most trusted friend may prioritize self-interest over loyalty. Your partner may select financial gain over commitment. Individuals you rely on will fail you when stakes are high. This is not negativity, but stark realism. Once this acceptance is achieved, disappointment becomes a minor expected event. Many individuals are devastated by disillusionment because they maintain overly optimistic beliefs. They held idealized views of others, trusted without scrutiny, and mistook amiability for genuine moral fiber. When let down, they become emotionally shattered, unable to comprehend the betrayal. They spend considerable time obsessively analyzing the why and meticulously reviewing past interactions for missed clues. Your approach will deviate. You will anticipate adversity and strategically utilize it to drive personal development. Disappointment functions as data, exposing people's true selves when placed under duress. It unmasks the character concealed beneath pleasantries and pretenses, providing invaluable instruction on human behavior otherwise unobtainable. Each letdown carries a unique benefit: the clarity of vision. Prior to the setback, a person's nature might have been unclear. Afterward, their identity is unequivocally known. Machiavelli asserted that human beings are erratic, mutable, and driven by self-interest. The individual who grasps this reality is never taken by surprise. He constructs his strategies on the premise that others will prioritize their own advantage. He prepares contingencies for when associates become unreliable, ensuring his achievements are never solely dependent on external factors. However, the most profound insight that converts pain into motivation is this: disappointment signifies upward momentum. People seldom betray those they consider beneath them. They betray those who are ascending, those who possess desirable assets, and those who are achieving notable success. Consequently, every instance of being let down serves as concrete proof that you are evolving into someone worthy of envy. Embrace this realization as a mark of distinction. When inevitable setbacks occur, react as a strategist, never a victim. Avoid expending emotional energy on feeling wounded. Instead, redirect that intensity into calculated thought. What valuable lesson did this failure provide? How can this new intelligence be leveraged? What flaw in your method did it expose? In certain situations, the optimal reaction is immediate, absolute severance. Eliminate the offending party from your life entirely, treating them as a harmful liability. This requires no justification, no second opportunity, and no dramatic scene, simply an irreversible removal. In other instances, the superior approach is strategic delay. Document their actions, commit the knowledge to memory, and await the opportune moment. Then, deploy their proven unreliability to your advantage when the timing maximizes your benefit. View disappointment as an educational process. It delineates whom to trust versus whom to approach with caution. It reveals necessary points of self-protection and compels self-reliance over dependence on others. An individual who has endured repeated setbacks and emerged stronger possesses far greater capability than one who remains untested. Disillusionment marks your transition from trusting naivete to calculated strategy. While most people permit disappointment to foster resentment, you will use it to become more astute and discerning. When you stand firm after widespread betrayal, keep rising despite every letdown, that is the definitive proof of your unstoppable nature. Principle 5. Muting detractors via superior achievement. The typical response of insecure individuals to criticism involves debating, defending, and justifying, thereby squandering valuable resources on people whose opinions are immovable. Your method will be different. Achieve a level of excellence that renders all criticism meaningless. The real issue is not the critics themselves, but your reaction to them. By arguing, you validate their viewpoint, suggesting their opinion warrants serious discussion, and treating them as equals when they lack the qualification to judge you. Refuse to lend credibility to spiteful criticism with earnest responses. Cease granting importance to random judgments. Refuse to let individuals who have accomplished nothing pass judgment on someone who's achieving everything. The strategy for neutralizing critics is not about winning debates. It is about winning at life. When your tangible outcomes eclipse their grievances, their criticism is effectively suffocated. When your success makes their assertions appear absurd, they will naturally desist. Machiavelli instructed, "Let no one presume they can conquer fortune through complaints." Conversely, you can bury criticism beneath overwhelming excellence, smother skepticism with constant positive results, and silence hearsay with visible achievements. Concentrate your efforts on construction, not on defense. Every minute spent arguing with critics is a minute taken away from strengthening yourself. Let your work speak volumes, Let your results provide the answers, and let your forward momentum drown out the noise. Consistent success transforms critique into envy, which is merely respect in disguise. A top performer has no need to engage in disputes with those who have never excelled. Critics are a perpetual reality. Accept that some people will always misunderstand your methods and doubt your capabilities. This is not an issue to be resolved, but a condition to be embraced. Use criticism as motivational fuel, not as a tool for validation. Your goal is not universal agreement, but such evident success that argument becomes futile. Principle 6. Intentional reputation management. Every person you encounter forms an assessment of you within the first 7 seconds, an opinion that dictates their subsequent treatment and the influence ascribed to you. Most men allow this to happen randomly. You will manage it as a deliberate, strategic instrument. Your reputation encompasses more than your appearance. It is the energy you project and the narratives people share about you in your absence. Curtail unnecessary talking. Men of influence do not eliminate every quiet moment with talk, nor do they rationalize every decision. Speaking less increases listening, and revealing less fosters respect. Mystery is inherently compelling. Continue cultivating mystery. Your reputation should precede you. People must recognize your standards, boundaries, and capability before interaction. Machiavelli noted that perception is key. Utilize your physical presence standing with authority, moving with purpose, and maintaining composure during chaos to convey dominance. Consistency is paramount. Be the same person under pressure and under praise. Let your competence establish your legacy. Control your narrative. You, not others' limited opinions, define your identity. Principle 7. Institutionalizing excellence. Excellence is daily discipline, not a performance for special occasions. True strength is forged in unseen moments, how you manage small frustrations and how you behave when nobody watches. Comfort breeds predictability, manageability, and subsequent neglect. Machiavelli stated, "Fortune favors the disciplined." Your adherence to self-commitments builds unshakable confidence. Embrace strength-forging habits rising early, doing hard tasks first over temporary comfort. You are choosing permanent effectiveness over fleeting ease. Principle 8. Achieving unstoppable status. This is the ultimate convergence, where you become unbreakable and unbending, a state defined by internal tranquility, undisturbed by external events. The unstoppable man achieves absolute emotional independence, needing neither validation nor approval. This is self-mastery. Influence springs from internal discipline, victory from personal excellence. Machiavelli called the self-conqueror the mightiest warrior. Unstoppability demands radical self-reliance. You select who accesses your life, operating from abundance, not desperation. Challenges will test you, but they will find no weakness, as you have systematically eliminated every vulnerability. You have integrated all 8 principles. You are no longer the man who begs for respect. You are the man who expects and receives it, shaping his reality. Your victory was secured the moment you prioritize transformation over comfort. The world awaits. Go prove your influence. If this video has made you see things differently, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.